Hey everybody, welcome to Let's Fix Work. I'm Laurie Ruettimann. On today's bonus episode, I am going to answer the question, should you quit your job? Now listen, we are recording in the wake of the very sad news that Anthony Bourdain has taken his life. I don't know why this has affected me so much. Well, wait, I do know, because there's an epidemic of middle-aged men and women in America who are committing suicide. If you look at the numbers, people are dying of despair. Their hearts are broken, they are addicted to alcohol and drugs, and for whatever reason, the body that they're in and the consciousness that they have, it's driving them crazy, and they feel like there's no other choice other than to take their lives. Now, I don't know Anthony Bourdain or Kate Spade or Chris Cornell or Robin Williams or any of the 4,000 people who kill themselves on a daily basis. But I do know you, and I know that if work is a component of your despair, I am here for you. The community is here for you. Every guest on Let's Fix Work is a resource for you, someone you can reach out to on LinkedIn and ask for help. Now, not ask for psychological help, but ask for help in your career. So please go back, listen to previous episodes of Let's Fix Work, and let's fix your job so that you're faced with better choices in your life.
Work is broken. So is the way you think about it. Host Laurie Ruettimann is breaking things down so you can put them back together and make work something you can enjoy. Let's fix work together. With the Let's Fix Work podcast, here's Laurie.
Hey everybody, welcome back. I'm Laurie Ruettimann, and this is a bonus episode of Let's Fix Work. Every day, someone asks me, should I quit my job? And listen, I don't know if you should quit your job, but my first piece of advice for you is that if you're asking the question, the answer is implicit in the question itself. I don't mean to be all Karate Kid on you, but if you're asking, the answer is yes. Now, the fundamental belief of Let's Fix Work is that we fix work by fixing ourselves. So if you are unhappy in your job and you're asking the question, I would buffer that by saying, have you done the work to fix yourself? Have you done the work to make sure that everything about you, everything about your own employee experience has been addressed in good faith? And if the answer is yes, then the answer to the question, should you quit your job, is probably yes. Now, the second piece of advice is that if you are waiting for someone else to make your employee experience better, or if you're waiting for HR to swoop in or your manager to swoop in and address pay inequity or sexual harassment or any other negative employee experience that you're having, you're going to be disappointed. For whatever reason, companies care about attracting and retaining talent at the very beginning of the hiring life cycle, right? That's all you hear about. So you get in the door, your first couple of weeks are great, and after that, nobody gives a shit about your employee experience. And in fact, we had a guest on a few weeks ago, Eric Barker, who said, in quoting the very famous and successful Bob Sutton, who's a professor at Stanford University, that you should look around your work environment because chances are you are going to become like the people there, and they're not going to become like you. So if everybody looks miserable and you continue to feel miserable, you can rest assured that HR knows that engagement is low, there are probably shenanigans going on, and for whatever reason, they can't fix it. Your supervisor can't fix it, and so you should probably quit your job. Now, the third component of whether or not you should quit your job is an important one because a lot of people stay because they can't find another job. There's not another job on the market with the same title or the same pay or the same or better benefits, or they're older and they face ageism, or they're African American and face racism, or they're disabled and faced all sorts of ableism. And I would say those are very real concerns, and it makes sense why you've kept your miserable job. But if you can't find one job, maybe there's a way to do something better. Maybe find two jobs. Now you're like, Laurie, I don't want two jobs. Well, how do you know? Maybe you could have a great job in the morning, come home, have lunch with your spouse or your partner, and then go to work in the afternoon. Maybe there's a way to do things differently that you haven't explored. So just because you can't find a one-to-one match for your job in the economy doesn't mean that you can't have 1.5 or 2 great jobs. I speak from personal experience on this one. I am a writer. I am a speaker. I am an advisor. I am a founder of several companies. I am a blogger. I'm a cat mom, right? I have all these different roles in my life. I am busy. I get my health insurance through my husband. I mean, it's a real hackneyed system that I've put together to earn a living, but it's way better than the one job I had back in 2007 that brought me to rock bottom and made me feel the worst I have ever felt in my life. So if you can't find one job, find 2.
Hey, we're the Payroll Baddies, and our mission is to make payroll fun and relatable.
And call out industry when we hear it.
You gotta call it out. You gotta call it like you see it. But we also gotta shine a light on all those unsung payroll heroes out there, making sure we get paid.
Yeah, those are the real payroll baddies out there, and we love sharing their stories and showing them love.
With gold chain and everything, baby.
By the way, SAP is the best payroll out there, and if you don't like it,
Get out.
Now, listen, a lot of you are staying with your current crappy jobs because you have dreams of being entrepreneurs. You may want to open a frozen yogurt stand. I met someone the other day who is saving money to be a swim coach and open up a swim school, which I think is kind of cool. People put up with a lot in order to be an entrepreneur down the road, but they keep kicking the can, and it's never a good time to pull the ripcord and be an entrepreneur. And very simply, I think it's time to start betting on yourself. Why not you, and why not now? Plenty of people go out into the market and start businesses while they still have a shitty job. You've got a shitty job. What's your excuse? Now, I'm not Gary Vaynerchuk. I'm not going to tell you to hustle. I'm not going to lecture you about working 24 hours out of the day, mostly because I wasn't born of wealth and given my family's business and then pretend like I'm some sort of entrepreneur. That's not my style. But what I will tell you is that you can ramp up a business slowly. You can have a business plan, and you can absolutely start a business while working in your current job. Nobody even has to know. If you go back and listen to my episode with Katrina Kibben, what she did is work on the infrastructure of her business before she launched and made sure that on day one, everything was set in place, from the legal documents to the bank accounts to the website, so that she could do business and earn money after she pulled the ripcord and started to make a name for herself in the industry. If you still wonder if you should quit your job, I would encourage you to go back and listen to the episode with Ben Brooks, because Ben Brooks is trying to democratize career coaching for everybody. Now, he offers a B2B solution, so he's selling into the business world, but he talked a lot about life coaching, executive coaching, credentialing around life coaching. And so I would encourage you to have a conversation with a coach. Invest in yourself. When I worked at Monsanto and Pfizer and Kemper Insurance, no matter what the economic conditions on the ground, they always sought advice from smart people and had budgets to pay experts to help them reorient the business when the business was going south. And I think you need that. You need someone in your life who is an expert who can reorient you. So go pay for a career coach. What you should absolutely avoid doing is asking your friends for advice. Now, I'm not saying your friends are idiots, but I'm not saying that. Whenever I ask my friends for advice, all they do is get nostalgic and talk about the things they wish people would have told them. This is really true with marriage advice as well, by the way. I can't tell you how many divorced friends of mine want to offer me marriage advice. And listen, good advice is good advice, right? Except, is it? I don't know. So instead of asking your friends if you should quit your job, I have one final piece of advice for you as your friend that you should probably ignore. I want you to go back, look at your employee handbook, and take advantage of every single benefit that's afforded to you. So if you have a bank of unused PTO, go take that PTO. Go to the doctor, go to the eye doctor, go to the specialist you need to see. Call the EAP. Whatever awesome benefits are afforded to you, go take advantage of them. Because once you quit your job, those benefits are all gone. And for most of us, we need a reminder as to why we said yes to our employer. Why did you say yes to that job in the first place? It was probably because you had the promise of work-life balance. Maybe you had great benefits. Maybe there's a really good matching 401k. Whatever it is, go back and make sure you're taking full advantage of it. Remember what it was like to be a new employee. Get a break, especially with that PTO. Take some time off. And once you've experienced life again as a new employee, think about your experience. Is it really so bad? And if it is still bad, quit that job. All right, everybody, let's summarize. We're in the bullet point part of the podcast. If you're asking if you should quit your job, the answer is yes. If you're waiting, it's never going to get any better. It's time to quit that job. If you can't find another job, find 2 jobs. I know you hate that advice, but find a job and a half, or find half a job, but find something else. If you want to be your own boss, it's time to bet on you. Ramp up slowly and then quit. If you really need advice and you're looking for validation and you need an external point of view on whether or not you should quit your job, hire a career coach. Don't ask your friends. Or if you do ask your friends, know that the advice isn't going to be great, or level up and get some better friends. I don't know, that's what I would do. People who kick ass, take names, have great careers, at least you know the advice that they're going to give you, while it's nostalgic, is probably pretty good. Finally, if you want to quit your job, take all of your PTO, exhaust all of your benefits that are available. Make sure you do everything within your power to be fresh, to be energized, to hearken back to the days when you first took that job. And then if you still want to quit your job, the answer is probably yes. Now stick around, everybody. After the break, I'll be back and we're going to wrap things up with one more piece of advice. Hey, everybody. You know I love to brag about my friends. I also like to listen to them. And right now I'm listening to Jennifer McClure, host of the Impact Makers podcast. Jennifer is connecting with leaders across all industries to figure out how to make a difference at work and in the world. Here's what she's got going on.
I believe strongly that each of us has the ability and the opportunity to positively impact people through our work and through how we choose to live our lives. The truth is that you've already impacted people in this world, even if you haven't been trying.
I love what Jennifer has to say. And if you like what you're hearing right here on Let's Fix Work, you'll love what Jennifer's talking about on Impact Makers. So go to jennifermcclure.net/iTunes and subscribe today. Hey, everybody, welcome back. I hope you've been enjoying the bonus episode of Let's Fix Work. Now, I have one more bonus piece of advice in the bonus episode. It's totally meta. And that is you need to expand your network and talk to really great people who can just make your life better and happier. Because if you need to endure a shitty job and you really can't quit, you might as well have a great network full of fun people. I have one more person to recommend. My very first guest on this episode was Scott Stratton, who goes by the name Unmarketing all over the internet. Scott was an amazing guest. He came on the show, and then he went on his podcast and talked about being on my show. And I'm so appreciative of that mention that I want to make sure you know that Scott Stratton has an awesome podcast, and he's just a great human being. And again, he's part of your network. So if you're feeling blue, go listen to that episode. Go listen to his podcast and realize that it's possible to burn everything down and build it up again. You can absolutely light your career on fire and, like a phoenix, rise from the ashes. It is possible. You just need, a Sherpa to show you how to do it. So it's probably not me, but it's definitely Scott Stratton. Let's Fix Work is a production of One Stone Creative. Audra Casino and Megan Doherty make this show so fun and so interesting for me, and I hope you're enjoying it. Now, if you like what you're hearing, please go to iTunes or your favorite podcast player and subscribe. And then maybe review it. Give us a 5-star rating. Do not give us a 1-star rating. If you need to reach me and complain, it's hello@letsfixwork.com. Now listen, that's all for this bonus episode. I've really enjoyed talking to you about whether or not you should quit your job. And we'll see you next time on Let's Fix Work.
Thank you for listening to this episode of Let's Fix Work. Wouldn't you love to get your hands on Laurie's no-holds-barred, honest HR handbook for employees and pros alike? Download it for free at laurieruettimann.com/DIYHR.